Season 2, episode 2 of Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
We seen it coming. I'm not sure if we seen it coming in this fashion.
Place your
That
bets.
face. That face. No. That face is exactly how I felt.
It's the face for me. I'm crying.
That was like a doubted face.
I don't know what this face is.
Thank you. I was about to say that was like I feel mad about it.
That face is the gin and juice is starting to hit.
Fuck.
No, that's a fuck.
It's like I'm like, really?
If they were going for shock factor, they nailed it.
Did they?
Yeah. Because we kept saying we kept saying how are they gonna do this? Because we knew it was coming. Huh?
To the face? No, Chris. He was like, did they? Like you want to see the gold face to the face?
You're looking for shock and awe.
Mm-hmm.
You're just more disappointed in how it went down. You're just like,
because they did deviate, and I think that's where a lot of people are kind of a little bit disappointed because they deviated the setup.
Wait a minute. I think my face has been
so many different opinions on
wait
here.
a minute.
That's why we're here for.
Completely misinterpreted.
I think first you need to go by each tile.
I will. So Spartan, you go first. Normally it's the women's, but I'm letting Spartan.
Oh no!
You said they deviated, so explain.
Well, they're okay for all those that haven't played part 1 or part 2. Again, there's this. It's a simple play. Okay, so Abby is actually found by Joel and his brother. He isn't. I mean, that's how initially it starts. Abby doesn't start the avalanche, and the town isn't attacked. Basically, the horde is attacking Joel while Abby is with him and his brother. At the same time, Abby pretty much leads him to where the rest of her friends are at, as basically saying, "Okay, I can use this as a distraction." Ellie eventually does find Joel, but her and Dina that's a whole nother situation. But again, the whole setup deviated because the town gets attacked. So it's a big red herring how the whole setup happens, but in the end, it's still the same. But I can see where some people say it doesn't have the same effect. I mean, we also didn't know that part was going to happen this early. I kept on saying they're going to stretch it out, but shock factor.
Now, I thought the same thing about them stretching out, but then as it happened, I thought about it. I said, this man is carrying Hollywood on his back right now. So he's like in everybody's project. So it's a point. He's just like, you know what? I got a kid and a couple planets to take over right now. I don't have time.
Right. You got Marvel and Disney talking about putting you to work.
Yeah. I got things going on. I got a kid on the way with my wife and brother-in-laws, and
he got a newborn, a toddler, and a teenager to take care of. So
it's a lot. He's going through typical dad stuff. He was like, you know what? I really got the time. Soccer practice, wrestling, baseball. So, I can't come to the PTA meetings today. So
you ain't wrong.
So, Lady Mandalore, what was the misinterpreted face?
My face was tense, just tense, tension, a lot of tension. But what is going on? Oh, wait, you're doing it now? Wait. I don't hate her. I'm supposed to hate this one. I don't hate her. Well, I need to hate her a little bit more. Why don't I hate her? I'm supposed to hate her. I don't understand. I'm confused.
Does it come on?
They set her up better. That's why.
What you're asking is how everyone played when we felt the game, because it was just like the fact that you got your employees is like, if you don't tell people up front, you're just gonna piss off everybody. So I'm just gonna leak this to all the Discord chats and Facebook chats, and then we still watch it happen. It's just like, what the fuck is this? We just met you. They at least let you know why.
It comes off, and even then, the why of her being angry, you're just like, really? You know what your daddy was doing?
We fast forwarded. Fast forward.
You don't find out in the game until way later, so that's why.
Wait, you don't find out. You don't find out what the reason behind him getting killed.
Yes, in the game, you
much.
don't find out until way later. Like I think
What you
once you
mean?
actually take.
So as
Because
Ellie, so I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lanny. Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, because the way that they have the game, first off, you are introduced to Abby as just first of all man woman. That's number one. Number two, then they just have her attack Joel. They're like everyone's looking for Joel or whatever. They're looking for Joel. Then number three, you have her campaign, and then you have Abby's campaign. You have Ellie's campaign, and you have Abby's campaign. You have a little sprinkled of like flashbacks of understanding why Joel and Ellie are displaced the way they are, but like the way that the game plays, it's very discombobulated. So the way that Neil Druckmann and them doing this, they're like, you know what, we're that kind of basically what Tafari said. We're gonna tell you up front who she is and why her motivation. It was very clear because they didn't even have a funeral, much less them saying like, oh, I'm gonna kill him so because that's my dad. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew who this woman was when you first actually get involved in the game. So that's why, like, I even said like they at least gave her a chance. Because you're right. You kind of get why she's doing it. But there was so much hatred for this character and even for her voice actress. Like her voice actor was getting death threats.
And that's sad.
Some of y'all got to stop out there.
But that was because nobody knew what she had actually done.
Even after like they found out, because like, come on, what? After maybe 2 or 3 days of people playing the game, people started leaking out what happened and who she is. But nope, it was like, yo, I'm gonna give them death threats. Like it was serious.
And that's another thing I want to say for all y'all people out there needing to touch grass. These actors get to play roles that we would love, and again, you would love to get to play the role of Abby. She may not be the buff Abby from video games, but it's an actor getting a role of a lifetime to play a character in a game, and she herself has taken it upon herself to be very careful about Abby's character. At the same time, it's not like you spent money on it. Some of y'all need to go outside and go touch some doggone grass and stop really with the whole death threats. That's what it killed Star Trek almost. They near almost killed Star Wars. And you'll kill almost every other faction out there just because some of y'all feel the need to go straight and to go to the actor and harass them. It makes no sense to do that.
It's a pattern that consistently repeats itself. We've seen it way too many times to the point that it affects the actor's personal life, and we've seen it. The actor who played a young Anakin, we've seen it. We've seen it happen with Christian Haydenson. We've seen it happen with Ahmed Best. We've seen this time and time again. Y'all are sick. Yeah. Rosemary Tran, it happened with her. You know John Boyega. John Boyega is one of the few that said, "I bet the hell you won't."
that was I wish you would moment.
Yeah.
I wish you would.
They tried it, and he was just like, I'll answer back.
You know where I stay.
But I mean, but that's why I said. That's why I say it's crazy. These are just guys. These are actors. I don't mean actors in just general. They just get to play roles that anybody else. If you sat there and said, "Hey, would you like to play the role of Joel from The Last of Us, or would you like to do XYZ?" We'll all jump at the chance. But at the same time, just if you're gonna be hate the same way Chris Brown fans hate him, quietly.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you know what it is?
Y'all still paying for them tickets, though, ain't you?
Right.
What you got, man?
Nah, the Chris Brown fans part threw me off. I was not expecting that.
I mean, that was the joke I was going with. We're all victims of 2010 when You Got Served came out, and it was like, oh, Chris Brown is in it. That nigga didn't make it to the opening credits.
That was Stump the Yard. Yeah. I'm like, I know you didn't say
children.
I mean, you
Look,
got
my
served.
bad. It was a bunch of dance movies coming out around the same time. I got dragged to all of them.
That's
Okay?
true.
Classics.
That's very true.
Yeah, you got served as a classic, man.
Look, I just
But
remember
close
like
off the yard, though.
I just remember even the director was like, "Why did you only have them for 10 minutes?" Like, first off, it was 7 minutes, but we had them in there because.
They
Yeah,
wanted
so
to
was-
get
that was a
people
rope,
to come
though.
watch the movie.
as people, we've all been okie doke before. We were not prepared for it. We were not happy with a game where the people working on it was like, "Y'all are about to get pump faked so damn hard."
Right.
So
Like, how do
Hey,
you have
I
how do
think-
you have a whole second character in a trailer and then you delay it by 2 months till after people already bought the game? It's just they set like I don't think she deserved the death threats, but they set Homegirl up for failure by like trying to keep all that under wraps as much as possible, and then people are like playing the game like, damn, is Ellie still in this at all? And then you have to go beat Ellie's ass as a boss fight.
And to a bigger point, even the way that they marketed, there are some things that you could have sworn she was talking to Joel. There's one point in specifically that she's actually talking to Jesse, but it looks like in the trailers that she's talking to Joel. So you're thinking that he's going to be out there. You're going to be playing as him too. It was a whole mess.
So here's my question. So because I haven't played the game, I just know about it. Would you say that the effects of we've seen in the game do not compare to what we've seen in this episode?
I think the episode
Yes.
Doesn't have the same effect. I'm sorry, doesn't have the same
No.
effect. Go ahead, man.
Mayhem.
Hey, man, go ahead, ma'am. You got it.
I want to say because I'm in the same boat as you, Chris. Like I know the story, but I've never actually played the game. So everything Tafara and Spartan have said, as far and Laney, as far as the backlash that happened, I'm all actively aware of that. I in this moment am, I guess, sort of fortunate to know a number of people that have never played the game but were really into the show. The internet, my timeline flipped upside down. People are like, wait a minute, hold on, did this happen in the game? What's going on? Like,
Oh, that kind of not know. Oh,
no, people were like disheveled. This is like they were undone because no one like we're very in the loop with all this information. No one thinks Pedro Pascal is getting killed off in episode 2. Like
It's like Star.
because we know what we know, like it's I don't think it's ever going to hit the same. But people that were just going in fresh, devastated.
yeah.
Okay.
But that's the thing though. That's why I was saying that because I've played, I know me, Tafara, Laney, we've all played 1 and 2 multiple times. So I'm sorry. Well, my bad. The setup though is where some people, like I said, you have to distance yourself. There's some things you can do in a video game realm that you cannot do in a live action. So that's the reason why there had to be some adjustments. Now the issue is just that some people got mad. But it's like, oh, well, we didn't really get to understand Abby. Okay, here's a wonderful idea. Instead of complaining about the setup, because some did like those basement incels did, go play part 2. Go play the first 45 minutes of part 2. You will get all the reason in the world why you will hate Abby in 45 minutes. You don't even got to play the entire game, just the first 45 minutes. At the same time, except that this is what they can do in a limited space. That's why a lot of things you do in video games, you cannot do in live action. So you have to find ways of adjusting it at the same time. Still try to keep true to it. So I'm not mad about how they did Abby set up. Yes, it was fast forwarded because, again, if you didn't play part 2, you did get you got Joel's death first, but then you got the explanation, like Lane was saying afterwards. As you play through Abby's campaign and Ellie going back to the hospital, you see the reasons why both of them want to go after each other. It's just the fact that you get that later in the game, though.
See, now before I get to Lady Mandalore, I was taking it his early, aka maybe premature death as this man is doing a lot already. See, you may not have time. shooting. The man is shooting Mandalorian Grogu. The man is he's getting press tours for Fantastic Four, so he's shooting that. Man, there's not a lot of time. He's just like, I know this character dies. I just need to. How do we fix this? Like, because I can't kind of continue everything because I'm gonna jam up the big money. Is what I'm saying.
I feel very confident that we are going to see Joel in some sort of flashback here and there because Pedro Pascal is money. They shot you. They got to wipe him off the board for 5 seconds. Like maybe an episode goes by, we don't see him. But nah, that's too much bread that his beautiful face brings in that they just like to be actually done. I don't believe
for that. For that very reason, though, just like you're thinking, they could be like, yeah, but what if we don't want to pay him though? Like, I'm sure that they have the money, and I'm sure that you probably like they could edge y'all out and be like, they're gonna keep watching every episode because they feel like we're gonna show him.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, how do you stretch his cameos to season 2 and 3? I don't see how they can make that happen.
You have the time skip of 5 years with Ellie. You can do whatever.
No, I'm not talking about. Okay, I hear what you're saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying about like the amount. They're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to put in some fillers because the amount of flashbacks I don't think can justify for like, let's say 7 to 8 episodes across 2 seasons, not one. Because
I don't think there's going to be that many flash. I think maybe
that's my point.
I don't think they're going to pull an arrow. I don't think they're going to do a flashback every 5 minutes. I don't think they're going to do.
Yeah,
you're basically saying this is at maximum. This is his final season.
That's my point.
Yeah.
You're then not going to go through basically all out war.
Because Last of Us, the season is done. So I'm sure whatever they do, this stuff has been shot already.
Right.
It's like that was his time. He like I said, he's Fantastic Four, Star Wars stuff. Like your window is like, hey, this is all I got. This is it right here. You got the what we doing? I know what's happening. I've read about. I know about it. I've read about it.
Yeah, he's got there's a few scenes that we still haven't seen that are pivotal to the story. I hope they don't spread them out like one season apiece. Like I think after the New Year's party when he's outside with the guitar, and they just cut to, there's a whole convo that happens after that.
Yep.
Her little come to Jesus moment after their final face off, which that was in the apocalypse, the dumbest thing you can do during a fight is stick your hand in someone's mouth. So yeah, I think they'll have some original films. Everyone had a relationship with this man.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, there's at least three to four ones that are canon that they have to go through at least.
Yeah. So, Lady Mandalorian, what was your takeaway?
I liked the episode. I thought it was very suspenseful. It made sense to me. I didn't play the game. I cheated and looked on YouTube. So there were still things. I don't care. There were still things that I could pick out where I was like, wait a minute, that didn't. The fuck? What's going? Wait, that didn't. Something's off. Something's off. But I was still okay with it because to me, like hearing everybody say, "Oh, it didn't make any sense," the second game, blah 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 blah. I felt like this was a good way to clean all that up so we can pass this fucking point and get to the rest of the story. Which is what?
Because there's ways to look at. Like, I did not dislike it. I didn't hate it.
Right.
I was just like, oh wow, I wasn't, And then once again, my political mind, I'm like, this man is about to be busy for the next 2 years. He's kind of locked in right now, So that's why I was just like, oh. But in the same time, the only disappointment I had, it was like, She got the drop on you with the shotgun. Okay.
Wait, what shotgun?
She shot him with not shotgun, but with the rifle.
Yeah, she shot him with a rifle. Yeah,
you know, so she got him there, but then
in the game, I think in the game it was a shotgun to both kneecaps.
But she only shot him in the one leg, and even him just like. She was going into her villain monologue. I was feeling the same. He was. He's like, "Would you shut the fuck up and get it over with?"
That's one of the few changes I wish they would have. Tell him, Zarian. I wish they would have kept the original line because he was like, "All right, whatever big evil speech you got, hurry up with it."
Right. Because Abby didn't really have a monologue in the game. That's why I was tripping off. I was like, they gave her a full-on monologue. She just went ahead and went to work.
Like she shot him. Punched him a bunch of beat him with the club, and then he's like, she walks away, and that was the first thing my mind went to. I'm like, here's the villain monologue. He stops her dead stop. Like, you shut up and get it over with.
I understand maybe keeping Ellie's identity a secret, but no mention of like your dad brought a blade to a gunfight. Like it was
right.
Like, clearly, you didn't care about the other soldiers. Your man pulled some scissors. I put him down. Big deal.
I mean, you didn't think about the fact your dad did try to stop him with a scalpel, you know.
Right. Like,
but that's the thing. She has no idea what happened in there.
I'm saying I'm surprised Joel didn't bring that up. Like, I can understand not bringing it up.
It was 5 fucking years ago. Why the fuck do I care about this bitch showing the fuck up out of the blue? I ain't got to tell you shit.
The crazy part was the memory. Look, it was a self-realization afterwards where she sat there and said, you know, just like back in the hospital, and he put 2 and 2 together, like,
you must be his kid.
Yeah, once you put 2 and 2 together, hey, your dad pulled a blade, I put him down. It's kill or be killed out here. Like,
okay, so Safari, you did forget that he slaughtered a hell of a lot more people than just the person with the scalpel.
It's very clear she cared about none of those people because what is the sister's name that he shot? Who was their friend in the beginning? You see, she didn't even get named. She just was put over with the rest of the bodies. He was like, you shot through a lot of people. By the way, this doctor, I'm like, clearly we see was important. Also, I appreciate the fact that they're at least better selling how not with this your friends are. Like, they came for the journey. They didn't think they were actually going to find the one piece. Like,
you know what? I think that they did that to make them even more palatable to people who followed the game and had a really bad reaction.
Yeah, they were shook. They were shook when she did it.
We get no reaction in the game. We just show up. They restrain her, and then they all spit on Joel's corpse and leave. Like that's our introduction. That is our introduction to them. At least in this one, it's like, hey, we didn't think you'd actually pull this off. Like, can you wrap it up? Because this is clearly making us all uncomfortable. Also,
Even old boy told her, he said, finish it. Like he was like, we didn't come here for torture. Just
I would not
think this was gonna happen.
Like, I would not be I'm not shocked if their whole friendship like slowly becomes a fallout when they get back to wherever they go, especially if Isaac's character, I think his name is like very true to how he goes and being the military man. I was okay with the swaps because it gives more people motivation to do stuff versus like, ow, my feelings. I'm gonna go like risk everyone's safety just because. Like Dina being with Joel instead of Tommy, that works out for me because at least like one, I don't need to see her and Ellie getting high and fooling around while Joel is getting beat to death because why?
Right.
Also, Dina at this point or by next episode or at some point between New Year's, Joel dying, and this road trip, it gets knocked up with somebody else's kid.
What's the kid? What's the base kid?
No, she don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me not say that.
So I don't know if they're gonna go to that point, but I'm saying this is what was stupid about it. Dina goes off and has her own like fun phase while Joel is getting buried, and then it's just like, sure, I'll go with you across the country when I probably didn't even tell the other person who could take my place. And then they get a bunch of people innocently killed. Here's how I describe the game for people who've never seen it. This is like if you introduce Tony and all the trailers for Civil War, but psych, Viola Davis actually just shoots Tony before the opening credits, and instead of now it's the Avengers getting revenge, but we spent a whole half of the movie watching it from Viola's perspective.
So it's like the other guys. It's Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, but you're showing us The Rock and Sam Jackson, and they died 5 minutes into the film.
And now and then we get introduced to the other guys, and we have to watch everyone they know and love get captured. You're like, we don't care. We just met these people. But Tommy, I like the way what they did with Tommy because this gives more risk and reward for him getting involved because now he's not just somebody's husband. He's like important to that entire structure because he was the one getting everyone into place when the invasion happened. So now,
yeah, that's true.
So now if he gets hurt or injured, which may or may not still be the case, he's now like disrupting his home as well as the entire ecosystem of that city. Also, I don't know if they'll put 2 and 2 together, but Abby waking up the herd now makes her like enemy of the state for everyone there, technically.
Right.
She kind of woke it up, but then you guys told me that the tendrils woke it up too. So
that's what I was trying. That's what I couldn't.
I don't think that's gonna play.
That's what I couldn't. I couldn't.
I agree with that.
I couldn't figure that part. I'm like, was it a coincidence or were the tendrils like telling them?
They had been shown in the previous episode.
That's my
they was going through the pipe. Yeah, they were going through the pipe.
But so my question is,
shout out to the bloater.
Why didn't nobody fucking say some shit about the goddamn tendril? Somebody saw it, right? Like somebody.
Yes, I think somebody did.
I don't know if they knew what they were
looking at.
They cracked open the pipe.
They
cracked open the pipe. They saw the tendrils came and got Tommy, and then they looked over and saw the zombies coming.
And then they had to get
And then Tommy starts alerting everyone, ring the bell, get the stuff in place, get the gas cans.
No. I'm talking about in episode 1.
The previous show, the previous
they just thought it was vines.
Because remember, it's still kind of it's still in the pipe. They didn't see it until they cracked the pipe open this episode.
Right.
Yeah.
It was
still... At that time, Dina went to Joel was talking about we found things in the pipes, and he sat there and said, "Well, that's the reason why we're." He sat there and said, "Well, that's the reason why we're cutting up and replacing them." They didn't actually dig that deep enough to actually see it. So as the viewer, you saw it, but as to the rest of the world, it's just
that's
like
what I was questioning. I didn't know.
I was assuming. Because I could have swore somebody had seen it because they were there.
He flicks the cigarette, and then you get a front shot of the pipe where it lands, but like standing over it, you wouldn't be able to see it because we're getting like a straight shot into it versus over the top when they saw it and realized. And then I guess I don't know. Maybe they realized they were exposed, and then the zombies woke up. But also the fact that they're showing that these things have evolved. Because in the game, they literally throw you into a building. It's like, oh right, stalkers exist. By the way, meet your new enemy. Versus the way they've been introduced, which is like they actually they're being tactical and they're hiding under the corpses of their own.
Now I like how they did that. The fact that they did show intelligence, like they just basically buried themselves on top of each other and waited it out. I said, okay, I like that because you're pretty much saying this is how they're evolving. They're not strategically thinking, but it's almost like hive mind thinking. I like that.
That's just survival thinking.
Mm-hmm. You kind of saw that in the previous season where they had that big fucking mound of them pop up out of the ground too.
Yeah, and they had a big boy there too. Yeah. They had a problem with that one.
If you got a bloater coming this way of all the firepower you got, and this big bullet sponge is coming your way, why do we not have explosives?
Because you're trying to preserve the town a little bit.
Yeah.
That bloater was a good.
Semblance.
Look, that bloater was good 50 feet from the fence. You're sitting there telling me not one stick of dynamite?
If you miss, then what was the point? I think they were trying to be.
You can't miss with explosives.
Yeah, I mean they have a hive mind, but it's the fact that like it's no longer just a method of communication. It's the fact that they're actually being like strategic and tactical and taking down grizzly bears and all this other like. Right. They're getting more ferocious and more aggressive. They're not just communicating like they were in season 1. They're actually adapting. So whether or not Abby was like the signal for them to go off, or she just happened to be caught off and then waking up, like, ma'am, at least take this info back to your people while you were off dicking around in another town, because her whole crew is technically like the best young Avenger squad her team has as well. So them going missing for like however long this took. Like that, I hope that doesn't just like get breezed over either, because
like where were y'all at? Like what were y'all doing?
Yeah, right. Especially being built like a brick.
I think in the game, Isaac is like he gave them the blessing to do that. Any other time that she left was not sanctioned.
Okay, Because I don't know.
Well, I know, yeah, because he did say, well, yeah.
I
know in the last episode they had her before the council,
Mm-hmm.
and was saying, hey, and he knew, he was just like, yeah, I already know that was a lie. Like after they left, he was like, pretty much just like a slap on the wrist and like, don't do it again. But when they left, he was like, yeah, that was a lie. I already know they were doing something else.
Wait.
I'm talking about Abby.
I'm confused. Tafara,
no, I'm talking about first episode.
The first
No.
episode they went off the beaten path.
No, wait. Tafara was
I'm talking about Abby.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I was talking about.
Abby definitely disobeyed orders.
Yeah, Abby.
But when she went out to go to Joel, I think that was sanctioned.
Nope. Old boy sat there and said, when he sat there and told Abby, he said, we don't have the resources to go after your little revenge hunt. And that's when old boy that was with her in episode 2 said, look, if you're gonna go, we're gonna go with you. Because she was never given the go ahead to go to Joel.
I don't think in the game she got penalized.
Nah, in the game
she didn't get. That's what I'm thinking.
They didn't really get. They didn't really get penalized. Yeah, they didn't get really get penalized because those are his star players. He just didn't like that they all put themselves at risk.
Oh,
her little revenge tour. Because
let's be honest. In the game, Buff Abby could do whatever she wanted. She said she wanted to go after Joel with the guns out. I don't think nobody gonna say nothing.
I was about to say something, but that's spoilers, so never mind.
I would say that's pretty much it.
Not really. There is a point. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it though. Abby was she was such a buff bruiser for the team. You really couldn't question as long as she got right back to work, which she did.
Right. And like Tafara said, that's your number one hitter. So she wanted to go on a revenge tour. The WLF was like WLF was like, hey,
what you got, man?
Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say on the back of what y'all talking about, Buff Abby. I think the TV show is earning Abby as she is physically, because what is it, like 5-6 of them all together? Why are they listening to this small little frail white girl? Something about her has to be that she is off, or she's actually like that up here.
Because the North members.
The North
remembers.
Because in the game, some of what gets people hurt is the fact that she can wrestle guns away from grown ass men. That's a factor that actually takes place in like certain parts of the game, is that she overpowers certain people.
She survives long when she's almost being starved. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Like I said, they listen to her because the North remembers. So it is what it is. The moment that everyone has been waiting for.
Hurley.
We are talking about Sinners.
Oh, okay.